You've just settled down for the evening. The pizza you ordered is on its way, and your favorite alien-fighting duo, Rick and Morty, are about to come on the TV. Then suddenly you hear a beeping sound, and on the screen you see emergency broadcast. The beep stops and you hear the words, "We interrupt this program for an important message from the president." Wow, you think this could be exciting. The next shot is the president himself sitting at his office in the White House. "Dear fellow citizens," he says, "today I'm addressing you with news that could be world-changing. For what you are about to hear is without precedent. Today, the United States has made contact with aliens. This is gonna be big, like really big, bigger than you can imagine." Maybe some of you are looking forward to the day of this happening, and maybe some of you are dreading the day. However you feel, if you believe some scientists, it's only a matter of time before we are contacted by aliens. Some people believe in a kind of alien zoo theory, which means we're being watched over, but the super intelligent life form that's observing us has just not made contact. Maybe aliens don't want to interfere, and it's better for us to do things on our own way down here. That said, they are watching us as we pollute our planet. They've seen us wage wars and create weapons of mass destruction. They've stood by for a long time. But if some of those environmental scientists are right, maybe by 2050 human civilization will come to an end. With that in mind, perhaps those aliens up there in space kind of like us cuddly-wuddly humans and don't want us to self-destruct. Those guys regularly watch the Infographics show, and they just adore Ed Sheeran. And they don't want to see doomsday, and so have had a chat with each other and agreed to make contact. The question is there any evidence for this? What would we do if they made contact? First of all, it's unlikely if aliens did make contact, they'd be fluent in one of our many languages. And then they just get the president on the phone and be like, "Hey, so we're a group of intergalactic aliens originating from the planet Karzion. We just called because we're a bit concerned about environmental degradation on Earth and the fact that you worship money above all things. We don't want to sound harsh, but with that and all the hostilities down there, we decided it's time to teach you a thing or two. We'll be down in a minute or two. Laters." That's a highly unlikely scenario, but since 2007, astronomers have been detecting mysterious radio waves coming from outer space. They didn't exactly know what they are, and some scientists suggest that it could be evidence of alien life. The pulses of these radio waves are short, like milliseconds short. That's why they're called fast radio bursts, or FRBs if you're in the astronomy game. These bursts are coming from billions of light years away and might only be space phenomena happening, such as stars merging together, but they might also be extraterrestrial life. Last year, astronomers used a radio telescope to look for more of these flashes, and they found some. So far, they've detected about 60 of these FRBs, but 2 of them are of great interest. That's because they're repeating. Maybe one blast alone could just be phenomena in space, but when they repeat, well, that could be something staying out there. There's this guy named Frank Drake, and he's the astronomer that kicked off our first modern type of exploration for extraterrestrial intelligence. You might have heard something about the Drake equation, which estimates how many alien civilizations there are in the Milky Way. That's the galaxy where we live if you're lost. It's Frank's opinion that there's something like 10,000 broadcasting societies in our Milky Way. But the Milky Way is a big place and contains maybe 100 to 300 billion stars. If aliens don't contact us and we have to find them in this great mass of stars, it will take some time. And we're getting there, but 2020 might be optimistic. But 2020 will be a big year, that's for sure. Those looking for alien life are getting some new parts for one of their best telescopes. And if aliens are pointing signals at us from deep space, we now have new technology in the form of something called the Very Energetic Radiation Imaging Telescope Array System. That's a mouthful, so you can call it Veritas. This is about as sophisticated as alien searching tech has ever gotten, and 2020 will be the year it's put to full use. With this thing, astronomers can look for flashes of light, and those flashes might be aliens. Think of it this way. If the most powerful lasers we have on Earth were sent out to a distant star, with Veritas we could detect that laser flash. It's like we're now searching for alien lighthouses. This project set a Russian billionaire back $100 million, but already it's been used to survey 1,000 stars that are all within 160 light years away. We just haven't spotted any signals yet. But this year, astronomers are hoping for something positive to light up their telescope. That would figuratively and literally be a blast for those guys. You might now wonder, so what will we do if we do detect something out there? Well, firstly, scientists have come up with a scale that rates the detection. One of the fast radio bursts it's spotted gets a rating from 0 to 10, with 1, not much to make an astronomer put down his frosty cappuccino, and 10 being something that would make him spill the thing all over himself. A 10 is basically definite alien life that's hovering over Earth looking for a place to park their spaceship. The problem is sometimes the signals that are found could be something generated here on Earth. And as one scientist put it, astronomers might think they've found an alien radio signal when they've actually only discovered a taxi. There's also the fact that what looks like genuine signals from far off in space are not what they seem. In 2015, you might have seen the headlines about an alien megastructure that sat itself in front of something that got named Tabby's star. Its starlight just kept getting dimmer and dimmer, as if something was being constructed in front of it. It was something we'd never seen, and a bunch of scientists started whispering "alien" in the lab canteen. Turns out after more research, the phenomenon was just the star's light passing through a great big mass of space dust. But what if we are really sure that there was something out there? The problem now is, what do we say to it? This is a conundrum that's driven astronomers and other scientists crazy for a long time. We might be able to send signals out, and they might be able to project signals here, but how would we really communicate? Maybe there's some language of the universe, scientists have said, something that everything or everyone should be able to understand. That's what scientists are looking for, some signal or language that is so complex that it's likely to be from an alien civilization. Then we'd have to decipher it, and we need some kind of Rosetta Stone for the universe. That's the stone that allowed us to understand the Egyptian hieroglyphics. On the other side of the coin, a group of astronomers belonging to something called Messaging Extraterrestrial Intelligence International are trying to send signals out to space as beams that carry information relating to the periodic table of elements. We haven't heard anything back just yet, and the assumption that aliens will share any of our science is a very big assumption. As some philosophers might tell you, we cannot conceive of something that doesn't exist to us. Aliens might have heads, geometry, egos, something similar to Instagram and the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but they might also be something that right now we cannot possibly imagine. You can't even try and imagine it because your imagination is based on things in this world. This is the astronomer's great problem. When we talk about aliens coming down on spaceships and blowing things up, or them looking down at us and shaking their big heads in disbelief as we ride at Walmart on Black Friday, we're assuming aliens are like us, with human reasoning and feelings. We assume that because if they can travel in space, they must have human-like intelligence, but again, that's a big assumption. Okay, so what if? What if this year we discover a signal and it's been verified as coming from an extraterrestrial life form? Would it be like in the movies and a bunch of guys stand around in the White House with a military man shouting that we should nuke them? Well, there are a bunch of protocols in place for post-detection, but they aren't international law yet. You might say they're more like sound advice. One of them was created by those alien-searching astronomers we've talked about, and it was called the Declaration of Principles for Activities Following the Detection of Extraterrestrial Intelligence. Basically, the protocol says scientists must verify the hell out of that signal before it's announced to the governments around the world and the Secretary General of the United Nations. Step 2, you, the public, receive that emergency broadcast during Rick and Morty. Next, governments agree if a signal should be sent back, and if they give the green light that the message must adhere to certain principles that cover things like territory, justice, honesty, respect for property, and respect for cultural diversity. Let's say those guys get closer, and to our surprise, they're just as we imagined. That's green guys with slim physiques and giant heads, and they're partial to peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. What are the odds of that? Would they destroy us, like something from that movie Mars Attacks? Some futurists think no, because they would likely have gone through all the stages of cultural evolution on their planet if they could develop space travel technology. They would have seen wars and famine and all kinds of bad business and come here merely as very advanced peace-loving friends and advisors. If they did want to destroy us, it would likely be easy given that they could cross the universe. Others disagree, painting the scenario of an explorer civilization that would likely just do as we do and colonize things. They'd take ownership of us and have us working in their sweatshops, making their alien smartphones, just as the now deceased famous physicist Stephen Hawking predicted. Aliens would be hostile nomads in this scenario. In his view, we'd soon be calling ourselves native earthlings and talking about the damn settlers. We'd also have to do something about immigration, calling some human people aliens, with the upshot of that being that we might start to embrace each other down here. The new threat would be the real aliens. If aliens have traveled this far, they could be part of intergalactic confederations or alliances. That might sound like Star Wars, but why not if they've arrived on Earth already? They might teach us how to travel faster than the speed of light, and one day we might become part of the alliance. Serious scientists have said this, by the way. It's not just the imagination of an infographics show writer. If they did want to come join us in peace, we'd have to think about the issue of illegal immigration of extraterrestrial people. No kidding, we'd really have to figure that out, and no doubt the public would take to Twitter and passionately disagree with each other. We'd have to consider alien pathogens brought here and dangerous invasive organisms that might have traveled with them. No doubt there'd be real science, but also a lot of disgruntled Earthlings making stuff up about those dirty aliens coming here to take our gerbs and drive up crime rates. It would be a complicated relationship, and can imagine if those aliens started challenging world religions. Hey guys, those gods you've been talking about, well, we have something to tell you about that. Maybe this is all just a matter of time. If you believe in the theory of plentitude, then everything's possible in the universe. As the great Mr. Carl Sagan once said, the origin of life on suitable planets seems built into the chemistry of the universe. One day our astronomers are going to get that call from outer space, and we are going to stare at our screens with a sense of excitement and dread. The aliens are coming, and things will never be the same again. You might believe we've already seen them and there's a conspiracy to hide that information, but NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden said when he was doing his snooping on the CIA and NSA databases, he could find no evidence of extraterrestrials. If you believe him, they're not close yet. But that's not to say they might not be well on their way. We feel that this show could be complemented with some of our own perplexing alien investigations. So take a look at one of these videos. Is there evidence that aliens did come to Roswell? Or evidence that aliens have made contact?